Greetings, Kendra. We are live, and now we're going to go live over on Instagram. All the good people that have tuned in to hear this wonderful conversation today. Thank you, Instagram. We are live over here. And Miss Kendra, I'm so excited that you are here with us today. How are you?
I am doing well for this Resurrection Sunday.
Hey, let's get right into it. I know that's right. Welcome everyone into Coaching Conversations. We are here today with Kendra Nelson. She is going to talk about her resurrection and what happened after her third layoff. So apropos. When I saw it, I was like, okay, Kendra. Kendra is um, hmm, Lord, why am I getting tongue tied? Kendra is one of my coach sisters in my coach community. We also received our coaching certification together with Hello 7. And so I appreciate you being here to continue this coaching conversation for those that may have not experienced coaching and want to get a taste. We can get you on the hot seat. So drop questions if you have questions. Kendra, you know what I was looking for? I know you're an AI strategist. In my mind, that's what I think of you as all the
I
time.
know, I know, I know.
So tell us you're a career coach and AI strategist. That's what it is. I was looking for the other word. Okay. Awesome, awesome. So Miss Kendra, tell us how you show up in the world.
Hey, so welcome. Thank you, Selena, for having me on your show. I am so excited to be here. This is a special day. It's a Resurrection Sunday. We are so thankful, like my mother always says, for the blood of Jesus and that he rose on this day. So
Yeah.
happy Resurrection Sunday to all of you. I am Kendra Nelson, and I am a career coach. I help corporate business professionals help them level up when they reach an injunction of deciding what they want to do with their career, whether they want to level up to another position, land that dream job that they've always wanted to do, or whether or not they want to take that path and leap into entrepreneurship, right? And so I do this also grounded and undergirded by AI. So AI is the tool to help everyday people like you and me in our careers, in our professions, and in our business life. So that's about me, and I'm the founder of Simply Find Your Way. And it's Simply Find Your Way simply because we make life complicated, right? We have these thoughts in our heads of what to do. We have all these things going on in our head. How do we figure out? How do we get clarity? Well, the solution is very simple. So I help you find your way to get to that simple solution, and so that you can
Mhm.
be on your pathway to thrive in your life.
Yes, yes, I love that. Simply find your way to thriving in your life. Yes, Miss Kendra. Well, thank you again for being here. I appreciate that you answered the call when the call was made. And who
Yes, of course. You can my girl, Selena.
I love this. We've been in the game for a long time. We even did our rise and do coaching when we were all supporting one another and
Yes,
being in community while we were pursuing our certification. So let me ask you,
right.
would you share a bit about your journey and how you became a career coach and AI strategist?
Okay, so it is Resurrection Sunday. And as the title of this session is, what happened after my third layoff, right?
Right.
So
Mhm.
I have been in the corporate game for, I would say, 20 plus years. And so
Mm.
I've experienced my first layoff when I was early in career, didn't know much, but knew I had to find another job and take care of my family, right? So I put my
Mm.
big girl britches on, and I just went after it and I landed the new job, right? Then the second layoff, it was at a time where I was at a global company and I experienced so much learning at this global
Mm.
company from leading global projects, from traveling the world, from leading teams to learning and implementing operational excellence. And so when it happened, the second layoff happened, it was a time for me to what I thought was pursue my passion, which is helping kids, teens, and be empowered to be successful in their lives,
Right.
having adults in businesses and people understand where they want to find clarity. And you know what happened? I thought, like, okay, maybe I need to get back in the workforce and do something else. Maybe I'll find
Mm.
another opportunity, right? It was a little bit of fear going on. Like, should I, that one foot in, one foot out type thing? And
Okay.
so landed at another global company that I truly had this great experience, the culture, the people, the learning. It was also a global. And I was at that company for a couple years. And then when the layoff came, which was last year, I was
Hmm.
devastated. It was almost like I was grieving. And then
Hmm.
something said to me, God said, I already told you what I wanted you to do. This is your third time, right? I need you to go and do what I told you to do, which is I'm always teaching and helping people. People are asking me questions about their career, how I did it, how I was able to navigate certain challenges in my life, all of the learnings in corporate culture. So
Hmm.
the passion that I have with career coaching is really helping people get to know and understand and identify their authentic selves and the authentic desires.
Yeah.
And additionally, to bridge that gap for the emerging and aspiring career professionals that need to navigate the corporate waters. They have all the knowledge, they have all the technical skills, but that corporate culture, you need a mentor, you need more than a mentor, you need a guide. And so I want them to be leaders and thrive and be able to be wealthy in their 20s and 30s. Some people say, well, they're not going to know what to do. Well, if they have guidance, they will know what to do,
I,
right?
I agree. Absolutely. Hello, hello. We've got some folks that joined us. Catch Flights and Fitness, Lakeisha Arrington. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Awesome. Yeah, I totally agree. Let's see what else we got going on here for you. So you had three layoffs. Wow. What span of time was that fully? Those three layoffs.
So the first layoff, I was early in career about, um, I was at a company. The first layoff, it was during the remember the dot com age. I remember working for it. I was working for a dot com company.
Okay.
Um, it's actually, I think it's still operating now, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but at that time I was working for a dot com company, and it was a dot com boom. And I remember my son was he wasn't even two yet. He was just 1 year old. Shout out to my son Joshua Dempsey. He just turned 24 on Friday.
I
So
saw that. So about a full 20-year span, pretty much then.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, in the 20-year span, I've had three layoffs. And the thing about it is that, right, when you're early in your career as an
Mhm.
early in career professional or aspiring professional,
Yeah.
sometimes when these things happen to you, and they're happening right now with the tech layoffs that have been happening last year and the continuous layoffs that have been impacting others this year, a lot of people take it personal, right? You think it's something that you did, you don't know where to start, you don't know how to start all over. You're thinking that, oh my gosh, it's something about me in my job, when it's not. Really, the company has a decision, and that decision is for them to keep operating efficiently, and sometimes cutting their expenses mean cutting the expenses for people. But that's not an indication of your worth and who you are.
Absolutely.
And it's something that I like to share, because I like to help the career professionals, because you have to decide and know who you are and know your strategy. So
Right.
as you are going through your career, from one phase to another stage phase,
Mhm.
you are learning. Corporate ground is fertile for your learning and the learning for your strategy to your next step. And so what happens, there's no longer like when my mom was growing up, when your mom was growing up, you know that advice that we were told, girl, you better go to college and get you a good
Yeah, we
job.
did.
Get you a
Mhm.
good job, or what you doing, you're not going to leave that good job. But let me tell you, right? That good job is a stair step, and sometimes it's a winding curve to get you to where you want to be. And but you have to decide on what that is and have your strategy plan from the gate. So I'm the career coach to helping and guiding professionals because I wish I had that guide in the beginning. I wish I had someone to tell me, hey, you're doing all these things, but what is it that you really want to do? Not what your mama wants you to do, not what
Oh,
your daddy would,
woo. Okay now.
not what you think society or the influencers on social media say you should do because it's a lucrative and luxury and enticing role. But what is it innately that gives you joy and lights you up when you do it, and how you can be profitable from it and learn from your experiences from each of the jobs that you are enter. So when a layoff happens, you've got your education and now you're moving on to something else to get additional education. So
Absolutely.
you're on your own path.
Would you say those are the key factors in helping individuals navigate career transitions successfully?
Yes, I would say the key factor is really getting in tune to who you are, right? So, depending on where you are and what stage in your career. So, for me, what was really critical for me was my mind, was
Mm,
getting my mind right and understanding that, okay, Kendra, what have you done, right?
mhm,
Because oftentimes you sit back and think, well, I really haven't done anything, or I haven't had great of an impact. Why? Because that's what was told to you in a performance review, right?
mm,
Right. So in your performance review, either you've made the cut or you haven't. But there are other things outside of that. That's just a small piece, right? That's just a small piece. So the factor is really finding out who you are and what you've done and reminding yourself who you are. Reminding yourself of those things that you've accomplished. It could be even the accomplishment of raising a child on your
right.
own, right? That's a huge accomplishment. Do you know what skill it takes to raise a child by yourself
Hey,
and work?
first you gotta birth that baby. That's in itself.
Right,
The fact that you gave birth to a whole human.
right.
Let's
So
start
you have to look for those opportunities where you are already shining and where you have made an impact. It may not be the impact that was on your job description that you checked the box. It might be something else that you did, but that what you didn't really matter to your role or your manager at the time because it was their perception of what success looked like.
with.
Remember, we are following someone else's perception of what success looks like.
Absolutely. I do that with my clients. I have them put together a list of 100 of their successes. There's so many that I work with tend to believe that they have imposter syndrome.
Yes.
And so writing out the things that they've accomplished, they see how badass they really are, and have evidence of those reminders. Let me ask you, Kendra, I am known as the disruptor coach. So, what have you had to disrupt in your life?
The biggest thing that disrupted in my life is my mind,
How
right?
about mine? Mm,
Um, and I say that because, and it really came full circle during meeting all my fabulous cohort members of the coaching community,
yeah.
being in the different masterminds and having my own coach.
Hmm.
But it's one of the things disrupting my mind to really know who you are because what happens is that when we are whatever stage when we're at a child, people tell us what we want to do, And sometimes, even parents, you tell your children what to do. And sometimes that doesn't allow your child to think independently of what they want to do. And then they see the influences of everything else. And so those things are formulating on what they should be. And you never have the opportunity to really dig down and see who you really want to be. So I had to challenge myself to think about, who is Kendra? How does Kendra show up in this world? How does she want to show up in this world? My job is not who I am. My mom,
Shay, yes,
mom, I love her dearly, and she would always tell me at every job that I was at, when I was experiencing challenges, whether there's high or low, she would tell me, Kendra, you don't own that. You don't own that place. You're not the owner of that job. And I'm like, I got stock in that company. I own some of it.
well, now that's a uh, good way to look at it, and I do that as well. I like to buy stock in where I'm working to kind of help my cause too. For
Right.
I
Right.
remember I've experienced two job eliminations. I don't necessarily see them as layoffs, though. I see them as they've eliminated my position. So it really didn't have anything to do with me. I also received severance packages um, as well. And I see them as new beginnings,
Yes.
opportunity where the spirit then made a executive decision that I'm being shifted into a new direction.
Yes. Yes. I'm 100% of that. I agree with that 100%.
Absolutely.
Because what you don't know is that where you've been is helping you to where you are going. And at the time, you don't feel like it, right? You don't see it as an opportunity. And if you're a believer, you are forcing yourself so that you can get out that rut to see it that way, but still deep down inside, you're like, man, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to take care of my family? How do
Mhm.
I do all these things? But I just looked at the opportunity from my last layoff, and joining the certification for Hello 7, um, being in community with over 100 amazing, knowledgeable women that are have a similar goal to have to increase wealth for underrepresented communities, right? For
Right.
themselves, to leave a legacy for their families, and to have that community where we are not only exchanging knowledge, we're
Mhm.
supporting each other. I mean, that's really hard to come by in certain cases, right? And
Mhm.
so if I did not have the layoff, would I have pursued this fully? Would
Absolutely.
I be stepping in who I am, who Kendra is fully, right? I may have, it may would have taken me another door for God to close and then open up, because eventually, we're going to walk through that door. But notice, when that door and that assignment is complete, there's another door behind it, right? And so those are things that um, I'm often reminding myself, that the doors are just, the closing of the doors is really, like they say, it's the opening of another door. It's the opportunity, it's the gifts, right? That comes with those challenges. There are
Yeah.
gifts in the challenges, right?
With that divine redirection. Let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about AI, the AI component. How do you incorporate the AI strategies into your coaching practice?
So I have, okay, let me be really real with you for a minute, right?
We like it.
so
You
so
tell.
so let me tell you my secret. I'm being real transparent here, right? You see my balloons. I just had a milestone birthday, right?
Happy belated
And
birthday.
along with the milestone birthday, right? Our body changes, things happen to us. And I started using AI almost maybe a year and a half from now. And
Oh,
it may be a year and a half, but started getting into it because those brain fog. having all these ideas, trying to figure out
Yes.
my words, how to communicate things, and how to using it to make sure my words and communicating the way I want it to be communicated. So I use it in my business. Um, with my career programs, I help my clients build what I call as their manifesto, which is their
Mm.
badass manifesto to remind them of who they are. So I take them through a series of assessment using ChatGPT, and ChatGPT helps them walk through the questions so that they can remember who they are. I
Yeah.
use ChatGPT. I've said this thousands and thousands of times. I use it like Frank's hot sauce. I put it on everything. All
I,
right.
you know what that makes me think about? I remember when you were doing some lives and you were using it to help you create a recipe and some various different things. What do you say to folks that are some people are really concerned about AI, and as the more that I start to use it and enjoy it and realizing that it's been here 20, 30 years, how
Right.
what
Right.
what would you say to someone that's apprehensive about using AI? AI stands for artificial intelligence, right?
Right. Right. I would say to them, like in my classes, I share, you're already using generative AI. When you are turning on your TV and looking at Netflix and you have a list of movies that are in your library, that's generative AI figuring out what your likings are. It's already here and it's been here a long time ago.
So,
But
Steve, when you say that, if I could interject here, apologies for that. That's like when we were talking about Big Brother back in the day, or you hear people say Big Brother's watching. Is that
yeah,
generative AI? That's what came to my mind just then as you were saying that.
Uh, it can be, right? I wouldn't necessarily say Big Brother's. I'm not going to say Big Brother's watching. I'm not going to go into those conspiracy theories because that can go down a rabbit hole. But
Right.
I would say for those people that are apprehensive of using it, there are some security precautions that you need to take. It's
What
like
are
any it's like how you would shield your social security number and your ID and your private information. When
they?
you're using AI tools, you have to be aware of what you share because there isn't a sensor that's going to filter out that um, personal that sensitive information, that personal identifiable information. It's like, you don't want to tell it all your secrets, right? Because even though there is and there isn't, I like to say, even
Mhm.
though there isn't a way for them to pin it back to you when you're using it,
Yeah.
unless you're doing something very uh, uh, what's the word I'm saying? Unless it's something of harm and
Uh,
detriment to the company, they're going to figure out how to get back to you. But most of the data in AI, and I'm going to geek out for a minute, is aggregated,
it
right?
is.
So it's put together, and so there's not pinpointing. Oh, Kendra said this in her chat, so I can go back and put this to Kendra, or Selena said this, and I'm going to put this back to Kendra. No, your data is aggregated. I mean, it's in a pool. So it's in a pool, so it's not going back definitely to you. But like with all things, you don't need to share your your personal information in that space. So you want to be protective of that personal information. But AI is being used. What I would say is that, especially for especially for us, right?
Mhm.
Black women and of middle age or early mid career or even early in career. The
Mhm.
future, if you are not grabbing a hold of learning how to utilize AI, this is where you will be left behind, right? Because the future is
Mhm.
looking that way. If you think about it, think about on the platforms that we're on right now, on Facebook. I think it was introduced a couple of weeks ago where you can create your posts right with AI, right? So you have to figure out how you're going to adopt and learn how to use generative AI in your everyday. I am looking forward to the advancements of how we use AI with the fight against Alzheimer's, the fight against uh,
Mhm.
loneliness for seniors, right? When our kids leave and we're here by ourselves, Alexa is generative AI. So having those conversations with an Alexa, that's a chatbot. So we are using these things every day. But I would say, take precautions. But really, what's happening now are the bad actors. It's like people. People are the ones behind that's doing the bad things. It's not necessarily the 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 tool itself, right? It is biased because it's feeding information. So there are people, and that's a career, a career path for people to think about is AI ethics and AI integrity because
Mm.
need to make sure that what's being fed into these large language models that it's you eliminate a lot of the biases how African Americans are represented when you put into something in the chat or a prompt. So there are opportunities for us to grow and not be scared that it's taking over our jobs or going to take over our life or it's going to be terminated and doomsday.
I love that though. You so many things went through my mind as you were just kind of discussing that. I remember learning, I think it was TD Jakes had mentioned that even when we're in the like with our phone and you've got that face recognition and everything, how it didn't recognize him as being a darker skinned person. So that
Right.
was a level of bias and things. So I love that you talked about AI ethics and integrity roles. That would be amazing. That
Right.
absolutely be amazing, right? Do you happen to know what some of those opportunities look like, or what a person should be looking for if they're interested in pursuing that type of career?
So, off the top of my head, I would actually just do some research. I would use ChatGPT, I would use Claude, I would use Gemini, I would use one of those to start getting some information. Of course, there's a limit on what of how far back the data is,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a technical piece of it. But I would start there, and I would start being comfortable about what that is, right? So cybersecurity is a big career profession, and I know I can just see that with cybersecurity and ethics and AI as a pair that will be very prominent in the future going forward. So if you're interested in that, there are classes, there are certifications, there are courses that people can take. But again, here's my caveat: make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you're doing that for you, that you're not seeking the opportunity because someone said you should do it, right? Make sure that aligns to your values, to your choices of what your career, what your success looks like in your life. Because at the end of the day, you want to be happy with the choices that you make to have a positive, a lucrative, and a successful, happy, thriving career, right?
Okay, absolutely. Yes. This is wonderful. So you mentioned a couple of AI tools. Are those your favorites, or what recommendations would you say to get started for someone that is wanting to get started using AI?
So I would go with chat. Well, I would recommend there are tons of AI tools, but the most popular tools that people are hearing are OpenAI's ChatGPT. There is a free version and there is a paid version. I would start with a free version of any of the AI tools that are out there. They all have their different spaces. It's like a race,
Yeah.
so to see. The race is here. It's like uh, Google. The race is here. You have all of these people creating different apps for various reasons, trying to make sure that they stay ahead of the game with the technology.
Mm.
But I would start out with the free versions, and there are prompts within the free versions that help you to get started with. There are they ask you like, what do you want to learn today? Uh,
Ah,
so do you want me to help you plan a party? So those are things that you can start easily with ChatGPT. What I also would say with this, it's not a perfect tool. So it's perfectly imperfect. right? Just like us. It's only based upon what is the data that's in it. So it's going to not always be correct. In fact, it has a disclaimer. Most of the AI tools have a disclaimer that they
Mhm.
can provide you with the wrong answers. So that's why it's up to you to do your due diligence into verifying that information. That's just like on Facebook. When you go to Facebook, now we're in this political season where who knows what is being happening or being reported in the news. But you have to do your due diligence to make sure and verify that information is accurate before you assume it to be um, true and pass it on to other people or even use it in your business or in your personal or professional life.
Mhm. Shay, that's so good. This is such good information. What woo, so much good stuff. Let me see what else. What's a good one? Um, how do you help clients identify their core values and align them with their career goals?
Ooh, it starts with introspective, being reflective. I don't know why I can't say that word. Oh, child. It starts with reflection of knowing who you are. So we can do all of the assessments, the Colby A assessments. We can do Gallup assessments. We can do Myers Briggs. We can do the Enneagrams. We can do all these assessments. But it really starts out, and those help, but it really starts out with the true reflection of what is it that you want.
Mhm.
And the answer of that question is not, I want to make a lot of money. You got to go deeper than I want to make a lot of money. It's it's like when, you know, I I think of it like how when we are in our coaching community, when we were starting our businesses and trying to figure out, who do we want to serve, right? And figuring out who are the people that we need to get connected to that are there for us, our people. So it's the
Right.
same question in your career in your life. You know, how do you want to show up? What knowledge do you need to cultivate and learn to show up as your best self and aligning your true values?
Understood. Understood. Fantastic. Do you have a success story of someone that has you've helped with career coaching and how it turned out?
I would say I have a couple of them. The one most recent one, it just gives me goosebumps to even think about. Um, and so this was just recently. I had a client that was going through um, some challenges with their current role and was looking for another opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And helping that client, um, I was I had my conversations and my strategy sessions to identify what the client wants and helping the client get reflect upon who they are, reminding them who they are. And in my recent session, my client said, "It's because of you that I have courage to not take a role that does not align with my value.
Oh,
It's
Shay.
because of you that I have the courage to now seek a role and a position in a career that aligns with who I am." And I was like, because of me, right? you know, it's because I don't. We do these. We do. We created our businesses, and because we created our business to one create the wealth opportunity for ourselves and for our family, if we was to take that out the picture, we would do this for absolutely free, right? To be
Absolutely.
honest,
Professional
to be
coaching. I've been
honest,
doing yes.
to be honest, to be honest. So when someone says that they made a decision not to take that job because they knew of the toxicity that it would provide them, even though the pay would have been great, they are looking and aligning their values, aligning their skills and their knowledge to
Mm-hmm.
that opportunity that is rightfully theirs. And so that to me is a win in itself. That's a transformation all in itself, right? To
Agree.
have that confidence to show up truly and fully as yourself, that's 90% of the game. You can get any role once you know that. Once you know who you are, you can do anything. right?
Love it. Love it. Love it. Here's a question so looking ahead, what trends do you see emerging in the intersection of careers and AI?
Yeah, so I named the ethics and AI ethics. That's one. So that's a big one. I see that. I also see, you know, um, I see how it will help with automation and productivity for even us as coaches in our business, right?
Mhm.
So automating processes that may have taken, you know, hours to do, right? So for us, it's nurturing our clients, making sure the emails, making sure our newsletters, making sure all those things are are created and sounding like us, right? So there's a way that you can tailor your messaging so that ChatGPT and AI and all of the tools can reflect your true voice. You know, some massaging you have to do, you have to train it some couple of things to do that. But that's a big one, right? Because if we are able to eliminate all of the a majority of those manual tasks or
Mm.
those things that are time consuming, then that's half the battle for us to really focus on that humanistic relationship and connection to really address root causes of problems instead of band-aid fixes.
I
And so
love.
that's how I see the trends for AI, and that's my personal opinion. That's what I believe. You know, I read, and I'm on these boards and these conferences doing these things, trying to keep abreast.
Mhm.
But the thing is, my whole goal is, um, in order for us to win, we have to have the win within and the knowledge to do so, to create it, to make it there.
I've used AI. I feel I use it more to kind of help me get started when I'm stuck and not feeling as creative. I'll
Hmm.
have it like give me a baseline. It's like this is what I'm thinking. What are some ideas around this? And then it'll kind of help get my juices flowing a little bit. Have not used it so much in content per se because I'm not there yet either. Um, However, I do feel like it, like you said, it's going to shrink time for you, and give you some time back so that
Yes,
you can do the things that are more important to you. And I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that.
yes,
Well,
yes.
let's get a little personal, Kendra.
Ooh, we're getting personal now.
Yes,
Let me get a sip of water.
absolutely. I'll do the same. What has really fueled your passion for helping others?
Ooh, um, it's the idea of I want to be that someone that I did not have,
Mm,
right? So when I think about kids, when I think about teens, when I think about aspiring and emerging professionals, and even in the varying stages in corporate in your career,
mm-hmm.
it's one of those things where if you know better, you'll do better.
Mm,
Or if you know better, or if you're informed with some guidance, you can make a calculated decision based upon that knowledge. And just having to being that person for other people is in serving them to make that decision so that they can have that knowledge is critical because in most cases, especially in the early kids, teens, in that age range, a
mm-hmm.
lot of them don't have it, right? A lot of them don't have it. You have mothers having children at a younger age, and they're raising their children based upon how they were raised, and so you have limited that bond of mentors and sisters and that community that we once had that was helping us raise the family. That's all sometimes it's not there anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're looking to social media for influences. we're looking to other people for influences. But this is a way for me to pay my dues, to do my calling, and and help, right? Because the thing is that we're not. It's a cycle. We're not going to be here forever, and I know I'm going to need somebody to take care of me, and I need the younger generation, the next gen, to
Right.
step up and learn these things and be equipped, and so that they are making the rightful decisions to help the elderly, to help to be impactful in their communities. And if they don't see it from someone else, how are they going to do it?
Absolutely. Well, with that being said, what were some of your who are some of your role models and mentors?
Ooh, I have a ton, right? Oh, wow. Let's see. You know what? It's Resurrection Sunday. So I'm going to start with the two that's closest to my heart. And the first one is my mom.
Mm,
So I learned from my mom that no matter the opportunities and the challenges that come your way, trust God, right? And so, no matter the opportunities, it does not matter where you are in life, you are capable of succeeding. At the age, I think in my mom's 60s, she
mm-hmm.
was called into the ministry. And so she became an ordained minister in her 60s,
Mm.
right? And so, and in her 70s, she was ordained as a reverend.
All
So, if you know the work that it takes to get into ministry and become a reverend, right? That means that it's never too late to gain the knowledge you need and to do the thing that God has called you to do,
right.
right? So,
Absolutely.
she's my first shero. She's my first role model. And the second is my dad, right? Um, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about his name. His name is Willie Nelson, and Willie Nelson is, you think about the country singer, but
Right.
Willie is the hardest working man out of retirement, right? You know, my dad is the person that puts a smile on my face every conversation we have. We're always laughing. He's
Yes.
the person that brings me so much joy when we have a conversation. He makes me laugh and he shows me through his life that there's always a positive way to look at things. You work hard,
Right.
you treat people right, you be kind to them, and then you have joy in your heart. Those are my role models. Then of course, we have our coaches and mentors in our head. Rachel, that's my girl, right?
Well,
you know
she's always coaching us.
right? Rachel get us straight. Rachel get it straight. But then I have to attribute to um, my personal coach, Melissa Alaba, right? She
Hmm.
was able to see me for who I am and before, so that I can be who I am right now. And and I have a whole lot of other coaches in my head and people in my head that I look up to very, very dearly. But I'll just start with those few right there.
That's pretty good if it's working out for you, right?
Yes.
So you mentioned joy when your dad talking about joy. What brings you joy? What hobbies or interests? What fulfills you?
Uh, a good ratchet book on Audible.
Okay. So drop some names.
no,
What
no,
books you reading?
no. I had to put that in there. So yeah, I enjoy getting lost in a good book, but I love dance. Um, my mom put me, people don't know, my mom put me in dance when I was a child, and I
Mhm.
danced professionally West African dance in Atlanta. So shout out to Ramatu Sabat and Manga. But dance, and I haven't been doing that lately, but I would like to get back and be active. But the what brings me the greatest joy is the time that I get to share with my family, my friends, my loved ones, my squads. The energy that I get from just being surrounded from just some great humans is family is my everything. And at a time where life is changing, the circle of life is literally lifing at this moment.
Mhm.
And so Family to me is everything.
That's so good. So good. So you did mention a good ratchet book. I do love to ask my guests what books are they reading, what book created a significant change in your life, what book you would recommend.
Oh, let's see. Um, I have so many books. The book that I have daily, it's probably right here now, is A Happy Pocket Full of Money by David Akande. I think that's his name.
A Happy Pocket Full of Money. I have not heard of that one.
Yes, A Happy Pocket Full of Money. That is a keeper. There is, why can't I think of the books that I'm listening to on tape right now? It's blowing my mind. So I'm having a moment. I need to pull up my Audible, but that is on my list. Let's see. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of a book right now? I have tons of them. Um, I read so many different self help books like Body of Work by Pam Slim. I have
Body of work.
another book. There's another book that I'm reading. Why can't I?
We're on the spotlight.
I know. I'm about to pull up my. Oh, here's my phone. This,
Yeah.
this is
Tell us what you got.
perfect. This is perfect.
We got a question on deck for you as well.
Okay. All right. Let me go into my library. So, okay. Oh, I started reading this book, listening to this book, and it is fascinating to me. It's Carla Harris' book, Strategies to Win. Oh my gosh, that's a great book.
Say that again. How?
Strategies to Win by Carla Harris. That's
Okay.
that's in my current playlist right now that I'm reading. Um, so you're talking
Kamala
about
Harris, she's black woman, right?
yes, yes,
Okay. I
yes,
know that name.
yes. So let's see what's in my book. So Ashley Kirkwood, Speak Your Way to Cash, is in my book right now. Oh, Adam Grant, Hidden Potential, is in my list. Let's see who else I have in here. Uh,
Well, you got all these money books in here, and
yeah. So the ratchet books I have it's called Hustling Divas by Denisha Diamond. So that's a ratchet book if you want to get into some ratchetness.
okay, I think I saw somebody in the Instagram over there saying, "Okay,
Yeah, I got a couple more ratchetness books in here.
okay,
Um,
all right." Well, this is a good number. What was Adam Grant's book name again?
Hidden Potential. I recommend that book for every coach.
Mm. Why
I,
is that?
because Adam talks about this concept called scaffolding, right?
Mm-hmm.
So scaffolding is like you know when a building is being built, they have like the scaffolds on the outside of the building, and as you're building it, you let it go, right? Well, that's what coaches do. We're the scaffolds. We're helping them. We're building them up to a point where they can let go and continue on themselves. So yeah, it's a great book.
That sounds like empowerment to me. We're empowering them to go out in the world and do the wonderful things that they do. That's
Of course,
fantastic.
of course.
We have Saria, another one of our lovely coach sisters, has a question for you. She's enjoying the conversation. Her question for you, Kendra, is after facing the setback of being laid off, what pivotal moment or realization propelled you to redefine your career path and embark on a journey of becoming a coach? And how has that experience shaped the advice you give to others today?
Wow. Okay. Oh, love this question. So I think it goes back to what I shared before. Um, we are the owners of our careers, and what happens is oftentimes, and for me, like I said, I associated my worth, I associated who I was with the job and the company that I was working with. And I had to disassociate that to find out who I am. So the pivotal moment that I realized is during some challenging times of life changing,
Mm-hmm.
corporate America is not going to have your back. Right? They're not going to have your back. And it's imperative for me to help professionals understand that so they can carve and strategize their way, right? So they can carve and strategize. And yes, you are in corporate, you're making your money, it's for you to take care of yourself, but you are your own business. My career framework is called the LLC framework.
Mm.
LLC framework is like your own being your own company. You are leading your inner self. You're learning to have a growth mindset and cultivating the knowledge that you need to thrive in your decision of the career choice that you made. And then you're
Mm-hmm.
connecting, you're building the network of professional network and community to help you along the way. So that's my LLC framework and the reason why I'm on this path.
I love this for you, Kendra. Just seeing your beautiful growth from start to now is so heartwarming.
Thank you.
So heartwarming. I love, 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 love this. Okay, I got a
Right.
couple more questions for you. Um, what's one thing about you that most people might not know, but you think they should?
You know what? I think I said it already. You know, I was a professional dancer.
Yeah.
Um, I think I gave that away. I would say when you know me and you get to know me, you see me. I'm just as authentic as I can be. I'm the glass half, no, I'm the glass half full type of girl, right? I'm looking to see the positive even in the face of adversity. And like I said, the circle of life is lifing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hard as it is to see the positivity, I'm holding on and I'm trusting God, right? So yeah, I don't know what that would be that you don't know about me. I'm pretty much an open book.
Okay. This was good. Well, we found out that you like ratchet and respectable books.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh, you didn't know that. You didn't know that. Yeah.
We're going to wrap it up here in just a few minutes. Where can people find you, Kendra? What if they want to reach out? Where would
So
you like?
if you want to reach me, you can find me on Instagram at Simply Find Your Way. You can find me on Facebook at Kendra Nelson and LinkedIn at Kendra Nelson. And let's see, Instagram. Yeah, I do have a TikTok, but I'm not on there that often. I'm more so on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And or I should have put this down here. Or you can go to I have a lead magnet or a landing page right now. It's www.s, excuse me, sfyw.coach. So it's sfyw.coach. And if you access that landing page, you will get access to a guide to help you with creating and crafting your resume.
Oh, that's
So, yeah. And that is where I am. And I am, what else I wanted to tell you? So the other thing is that on April the, I have the dates here. Oh, no. If you go to SFYW, you'll get more information and you'll also be able to get to Lead Magnet. And I'll be able to share more information on my upcoming webinar on using ChatGPT. And as a bonus, if you sign up for the guide, you'll also get a course for learning how to use ChatGPT using my Smile method.
now, is it sfyw.coach.com?
No, just
No, .com.
no.com.
Okay, that's what I wrote, but I'm dropping it in the chat for folks. Okay. Fantastic. And so what's the name of the resume guide? Is it just called the resume guide that they're looking for?
It's career hacks, resume career hacks.
Resume career hacks. Fantastic. Those are some valuable free tools.
Yeah. And so the chat GPT class that's coming up, I'm doing a bump sale. So I would encourage you when the bump sale hits that you start, if you don't not familiar with the bump sale, is that the first person will get it at $10. Then after each person buys, it will increase by another dollar amount. So the next person will get it for $11 and $12 and so forth. So the earlier you get into it, the cheaper the class it will be for you. And
That's
you will not regret using being a part of the Chat GPT class.
Yes, Kendra is fire when it comes to AI and that chat GPT. Let me tell you, check her out. And what is the date for the class?
The class is going to be held on, I have it here.
So they
Uh,
can be
I
looking out
know.
for it. Somebody
So
Stephanie said, I need that chat GPT class.
I know. The Chat GPT class is being held on Tuesday, April the 16th.
Oh, that's my mama birthday. All right.
So Tuesday, April 16th, I'll have a link. I'll have it on my landing page. You can sign up for the class and it's going to be fire. There's a couple of things that have been going on right now that people are interested in learning about, like how do I customize and make my own GPT? There's so many changes. I don't want to geek out, but there's so many changes that happened since my earlier classes last year until now. It's
Right.
constantly evolving.
I
Uh,
saw a conversation going on about all of the conferences and how you all were geeking out about AI, the conferences and how fast things are going. I love that.
yeah, there's so much information, and yeah, sometimes I have to pause the brakes and remember that um, I'm learning and I'm integrating, because you can get caught up in the learning and sometimes not integrate. So you have to learn and execute. So it's not just good to have all the knowledge and not do anything with it.
Right.
So when you sign up for my Chat GPT and AI class, I want you to take the knowledge and execute it right away. And
Right.
so
Because if you don't, it's just information.
that's exactly it.
You
Just
become
becomes
an omnivore
information.
when you actually execute.
Yeah.
We got another person on here. I need to know. No, that's Stephanie again. I need to know how you automated that pricing.
Yeah, I got AI tools for that.
That's to come to the class and check it out.
Yes, yes, yes.
I love it. I love it. All right. We got time for one more question. And that question is, do you have any questions for me?
Yes. First, let me tell you, thank you, Selena, for inviting me to share on this Resurrection Sunday, the opportunity with your audience, right?
Yes.
It's a blessing that how we gotten to know each other in our coaching community.
Right.
So I would want to ask you, as a disruptor, what would you say to another coach that you want them to disrupt? How would you give me my marching orders to continue to disrupt?
Well, Kendra, I love what you're doing. I appreciate the question. And thank you so much for when I put out the call to join the coaching conversations that you answered, and the fact that you were willing to do it on Resurrection Sunday. So that was so apropos. I don't necessarily celebrate holidays anymore. So every day to me is a holiday. I call it, we done made the wake up list. So it's a blessed rising.
I
So
know that's right.
appreciative of that. And the marching order for disrupting for you, you already in the lane. You know, you're introducing women and people of color to AI as an AI strategist, helping us get more comfortable with it. I know I've been in at least two, if not three, of your AI courses. So it's giving me more tools and more comfortability with it. Shout out to Saria too, because she's the one that pushed me over the edge in the beginning and got me into it. And so now I would have to say my favorite is Gemini. Now that I've been playing a little bit more and dip my toe in another one of the tools, Gemini, which is the Google tool, I like it a little bit better because it gives you more information.
Yeah, it's current. It's Google. It's really connected, right?
Yeah,
If you got to go around with ChatGPT. ChatGPT, um, you have to train it.
yeah, yeah. And I felt like I didn't have to do that much with the free version of Gemini. I
Yeah.
have I haven't explored because it's just been enough because I'm just getting started. So my marching order for you is to continue to show up as your full self as you are sharing with your clients and share the benefits of AI and Chat GPT. Kind of in small bites for folks to be able to do it. I love what you were doing in the beginning when you were just showing them how easy it is to use in your everyday life. I think
Yes,
that's a good entryway to get people introduced into it, to give them more time, energy, and a level of peace
that's right.
when things are, lifing, as you would say. And yeah, so that would be continue to disrupt the space in AI.
Yes, yes. We need more of us disrupting the space.
Mm-hmm. That would be it for me. Well, let me check and see if we got any other questions. Yeah, Saria gives out gems every day. Y'all don't know. This was way back early on in the coaching program when we first connected. Stephanie says you're speaking to her about integrating. This is her season. It's been a long time coming. Let me check the other channels. See who else is out here speaking to us. All right. All right. Doesn't look like we got any more questions. Somebody said, tell the truth and shame the devil. Okay. Got that life over here. For real, for real. Well, I want to thank you so much, Kendra, for being here. I want to drop a few housekeeping tasks. Coaching conversations next week will not be coaching conversations. We will still be here live. I'm hosting a workshop called Clear Vision Workshop. It's to help you define your clear why when you're showing up. And as Kendra
Yeah.
helps you get your career path, and even if you want to be an entrepreneur, and as we coach clients, we start with the vision, right? Because it's something that's deep inside of you that you need to get out, that you need to birth. And it starts with the vision. And in order to be able to do that, I help you get a clear path as to what that really looks like, what the dollar amount is, how you need to fund it. We identify money making ideas for you to generate the cash flow that you need to figure out where the gap is, where you are now, where you need to go. You get to network with other beautiful, like minded individuals and all of the good things. And the real value also is it's all automated. I automated the tracker for you to kind of really make it easy and help you. So it's worth its weight in gold. That's going down on April 7th. You'll hear me talking about it every day this week because I got to get some butts in the seats. So
I know that's right.
come join us. We would love to have you. And then the following week, April 14th, is going to be a real treat. My sunshine, Rich Morrow. Most people know me as Richard's mama. I don't even know if they knew my name. It was just my name was Richard's mom most of his life. And he's coming to coaching conversations to have a conversation with us. So get all your questions ready. He'll be here. And then I don't do this enough, so I got to get better at it. I want to let you know that I have three offerings that I'll be sharing with you. One is clarity coaching. If you're dealing with a problem and you need some on the spot coaching, I offer clarity coaching sessions. It's an hour and a half to help you solve your problem, get clear to the root of the problem so that you can go away with clarity and take those next steps if you're feeling stuck. And then I offer what I call, because I'm a business and empowerment coach, I offer business coaching, which is your dreams to reality program. It's a 6-month program. You can book a connection call with me to find out more if this feels like something that you might be interested in. We just kicked off the next this week. We're kicking off that program. It's not too late to get in where you fit in. And then I also offer from empowerment coaching. It's called your Power and Divine Identity Program. I am called to serve Christian women that struggle with who they are after cutting ties in the narcissistic relationships, so that
Mm.
you can know your power and divine identity to help you live a purposeful life on your own terms. So get at me if you're interested in any of those things. I have to put it out there. All right. That's my time. Kendra, anything else before we go?
No, I just want to say, just like you, I remember want you all to remember to go to www.sfyw.coach and grab my lead magnet, and you'll get on my email newsletter list, and you will get the information for that bump sale for that ChatGPT class on April 16th.
Fantastic. Don't wait. Run. Go and get it. It's coming out. Thank you all. We appreciate you being here. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Selena.
You are so welcome. We're gonna end on LinkedIn.